What a beautiful night and a perfect wedding, surrounded by all the people Bo loves, or maybe just a few of us at a courthouse, or maybe happy elopement party. I don't know. I wrote this speech really far in advance, as in April 2019, so it's hard to make predictions about these sort of things. But I can tell you with certainty that 2020 is going to be a fantastic year. Can we cut that out? I think I need to edit the speech.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chip. I've known this tall drink of water back before he was tall or handsome, before weightlifting, whiskey, or even deodorant. We're childhood friends who have resisted all attempts by time and distance to weather that bond, and we've remained besties through thick and thin. So you can trust me when I tell you I know a thing or two about this guy.
November 23rd, 2018. What does that date mean to you? Why, yes, it is Miley Cyrus's birthday. I'm sorry you knew that. For me, it was the day I knew my friend Bo Sneed, a friend for over 2 decades, would marry Rachel Bynum. I know. Am I a prophet? The story might suggest.
But I only mention it because during our phone call on the evening of that very date, I heard in my friend's voice something different. As he spoke about this girl he'd been seeing, I detected a sort of warmth and vulnerability that I'd never been there before. And when we finished our conversation, I hung up the phone and turned to my wife and said, I think Bo's gonna marry this girl. And she looked at me, having not spoken with Bo directly, and said, honey, you've had enough to drink. Why don't you put down your beer? She didn't believe me at first.
And then we met Rachel, or more precisely, my parents met Rachel first. It's all part of the standard Snyder screening process, beginning with the criminal background check, which Rachel barely passed, followed by the polygraph machine, which there's some results we still can't explain. We only review serious candidates for Bo's relationships. But let me tell you, the flood of rave reviews from my parents was hard to discount. She not only passed her first round interview, she was nominated for 2 Golden Girlfriend Awards and got 5 stars. It was a clean sweep. So once my wife and I finally met her, saw how great she was, saw how they complement each other, it was clear, this is the girl for Bo.
Now, as I've said, I've known Bo for quite a while. In one of our very first years as friends in the 4th grade, he lovingly adorned his binder with the words, I hate Chip, in permanent whiteout pen. You could say things were serious. Yet it was more than I deserved for smashing his beloved snack cake during lunch as a joke. This kicked off a period of silent treatment that lasted until Valentine's Day, where Bo offered me an olive branch. Not a real olive branch, but I wouldn't put it past Bo. Instead, he surrendered the very whiteout pen he used to scrawl hateful declarations upon his binder. The hatchet thus buried, it was the last of any discord in our friendship.
He's been an honor and a pleasure watching this man grow up and growing up with him. It was with Bo I had my first cigar, my first golf vacation, my first game of Vegas craps, and my first 32-ounce porterhouse steak with 12 hours of subsequent irritable bowel syndrome symptoms. Hashtag no regrets. It was Bo who convinced me to start P90X, get an Xbox, and buy Bitcoin, admittedly. When we rode crew in high school, I sat in the perfect spot. Bo was behind me. My girlfriend, now wife, was in front of me. Bo was, to put it plainly, my first and favorite bromance. Bo has an unfailing enthusiasm and warmth that elevates even mundane experiences into memorable ones. You know this if you ever see him in a full themed suit for Halloween, Christmas, or St. Patrick's Day, or in skimpy swim trunks that are themed for 4th of July. He is an expert storyteller and a master of wit. Anyone who's ever dialogued with Bo in person, over the phone, via email, knows that at some point you'll be laughing hysterically. He's a world traveler with a taste for the finer things in life, but he's not above an Entenmann's Donut or Taco Bell. In high school, we went on a scuba trip to Florida and we found ourselves in Miami. In a city known for its heavy Cuban influences, Bo just wanted a slice of pizza. Because that's just Bo. As Emerson once wrote, a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. In Bo lies many joyful contradictions. The grizzled Marine with a penchant for quoting Broadway and a disdain for camping. The fitness enthusiast who plays Dungeons and Dragons and reads Shakespeare. I could go on, but is not brevity the soul of wit? Not to say Bo isn't consistent about the important things. To Bo, relationships are paramount. While many of us see our friends drift away with time and distance, Bo makes regular and concerted efforts to reconnect. When there's been a long hiatus in communication between us, Bo is usually the one to rekindle things with a thoughtful text or joke. It takes little time to realize that he cherishes friends and family immensely. I could drone on, but I'll bring this speech to a swift conclusion. Rachel, you picked a great one. Bo is dynamic, thoughtful, and loyal. Bo, you definitely punched above your weight class, so don't get cocky. My wife Shay and I are sad that we cannot be there on this day to celebrate with y'all, but we're mostly upset that we can't steal all your booze and hold an after party like you did at our wedding. So let's raise a glass to this lovely couple. And all the way from Okinawa, Japan, we say, Kanpai.